after a few treks to Philmont and backpacking with Scouts, I've learned there are essentially 5 keys to success. Now, these 5 keys to success that I'll share in this video are reflective of a crew headed to Philmont, but these same 5 keys to success also apply to backpacking with Scouts at other places. Now, what are those 5 keys to success? Keep watching to find out.
Hey, real quick, right before we jump into this video, if you'd do me a huge favor and hit that like button. Also, thank you for subscribing to this channel. If you'd like to be notified of future videos, please hit that bell icon. Have a great day and enjoy this video.
These keys to success are at the crew level. Individuals of the crew have their own personal keys to success. As mentioned in the intro, these 5 keys to success can apply to any backpacking trip with Scouts. However, this list is really important for the success of your crew at Philmont. And I say success, what does success look like? Well, success could look like a lot of different things to different people. Some would argue that if we just showed up and the crew struggled with everything, got lost all the time, and didn't finish their trek, well, they would argue that that was a successful trip. I guess based on the fact that their crew maybe learned from their mistakes. I would think learn is the key term there, and I don't know how much they learned if they continued to get lost, for example. Now, I'm going to define success as the crew finished their trek. That doesn't mean that the crew won't have challenges to overcome. This doesn't mean that the crew won't make mistakes with navigation. However, overall, the crew completed their chosen itinerary, and they came away from their experience with maybe, that was difficult. We learned a lot. I learned a lot, but we had fun. Overall, they had a positive experience. So here's my list of the top 5 things as a crew your crew will need to focus on to set yourselves up for success. Your crew leader. Your crew leader is the #1 reason that your crew can struggle at Philmont. If you have a weak crew leader, that will affect a lot of your experience at Philmont. Your crew leader is by far the one person that will most influence how your trip goes as a crew. That is, if you're actually using the crew leader at Philmont the way the crew leader is intended to be used, which is the leader of the crew. Your crew leader will be the one person that your Philmont staff interacts with the most. Your crew leader is needed to make decisions all day long. They need to manage time. They need to keep up with where your crew needs to be and when, and it's decisions all day, every day. Time management. Philmont is a time-centric place. If you want to get the most out of your trip to Philmont, you must put your crew in a position to be at a certain place at a certain time to participate in program or your conservation activity. Crews can make decisions to gain them time or give their crew options through the flexibility of having time to use, or crews can make decisions that cost them time or give themselves no time, which means no choices. And if those crews have wasted time during the day, then that crew may not have any choice but to hike to their designated camp for the night, which may mean missing any program that could have been done that day. Examples of things that can gain time. Well, you can get up early. You can get out of camp early. You plan ahead. The day's activities should be planned and coordinated with the crew, communicated to the crew the night before. Be efficient in breaking down and setting up camp. Be efficient in picking up water. Be efficient at all those little details and tasks that could otherwise turn into a big waste of time. Now, things that can cost you time. Well, you take wrong turns, so you're having difficulty navigating and getting where you need to be. You can't get out of camp in the morning. You're not efficient at setting up camp or doing your jobs around camp, like cooking or hanging your bear bags. You're constantly making navigational errors. You're standing around when your crew has nothing to do. You're taking too many breaks while you're hiking. Your breaks are too long. Your crew is just taking too long to do routine and simple things. And there are individuals who just are constantly stopping. They're adjusting something, tying their laces, whatever. Or their crews are hiking unnecessarily slow. So those are all things that can cost you time. Navigation. A deficiency in navigational skills is typically the largest challenge crews going backpacking in general, not just to Philmont, have to deal with. Typically, crews make navigational errors, and these errors cost those crews time. That time going in the wrong direction is now time lost and cannot be easily recovered. Meaning, now that the crew may misprogram that they were supposed to participate in. It also means that that crew is hiking more miles than they need to reach their destination. More miles means more time on the trail. More time on the trail means hiking later in the day. Hiking later in the day means that crew is now hiking out in the afternoon thunderstorms rather than sitting dry and comfortable under a dining fly, or for the adults, taking a nap in their tent. To be very blunt, navigation is not that difficult. Navigation at Philmont is actually quite a bit easier than backpacking almost anywhere else. I'll save that argument for another video. And if you've spent any time backpacking at other places, you know exactly what I'm talking about when you go to Philmont. Most visitors to Philmont do not know how to properly use a map and compass. They do not know how to use a map to keep up with where they are on the map. And these are all very basic skills. And most scouts, even though they've been signed off on those in the requirements, they do not know them. Your hiking pace as a crew. Crews that cannot maintain an adequate pace that everyone can keep up with will struggle by having to take too many breaks to allow those who are not as strong of hiker to catch their breath. Keeping pace is a team effort. Remember, you're hiking as a group, not as an individual. This may mean slower crew members need to speed up. Faster crew members may need to slow down. If you hike too fast, not everyone can keep up. And then people will burn out and have to stop a lot. Crews that hike too slow will take longer than necessary to reach their destination. And what is a good all-around average pace at Philmont? Well, after hundreds of miles of data collection, backpacking with scouting crews in the mountains, a good rule of thumb is an average of about 1.5 to 2 miles per hour on flat ground. 1 mile an hour if you're climbing a steep grade, and 2.5 miles an hour if you're on flat ground, slightly downhill. Now, water management. Water is the key to life. Now take that to Philmont, where water is a precious resource. Water is hard to find during certain years and in certain parts of the ranch. You aren't going to be going anywhere, much less eating your meals, without water. Strategic planning on when to pick up water throughout the day is very important. How much water do you need to carry as an individual? You'll need to figure that out on your practice hikes. How much water do you need to carry as a group to support cooking meals? We'll talk about that in a different video. This is a time management activity, and there's time needed for things like filtering water or treating water. But overall, your crew needs to manage very well and strategically when they're going to pick up water and how much water they need. Are you forcing your crew to walk back and forth from your campsite to the staff area to pick up treated water when you could have just walked down to the creek and filtered your water or treated your water from the creek? Or could you have just packed that water in? There's all sorts of little details that will save yourself time and especially energy and effort. And most importantly, the reason you're doing all this is because staying hydrated also means staying healthy. Getting dehydrated means a lot of issues physically. That also affects your mental well-being, and all of that affects your attitude and your ability to make good decisions. So stay hydrated. So now to wrap all this up. So the 5 things you need to focus on as a crew during your trek is your crew leader, managing your time, navigation, having a good pace reflective of the terrain that you're in. So slower when you're climbing, decent pace when you're walking on flat ground or going downhill, and managing your water as an individual and as a crew. And if you can take care of those 5 things, you will probably have set yourself up for a successful trip to Philmont. I hope you have a blessed day and a great trip.
Hey, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you'd like to support this channel, remember, please subscribe to this channel, tell your friends about it. Thanks for hitting that like button. Everything here is free. I want to give back to the community. I want to give to you everything here for free. I've been out in the outdoors for a long, long time, and it's great that I can be able to give all this information to you. That is what's most important to me. If you would like to give back, I do have a GoFundMe page set up, and you can follow the link. And if you'd like to, if you're a youth with your parents' support, I would gladly accept your donations. Thank you and have a blessed day.